am the Narcopath.
I'm being kept in this place against my will, and I'm being told I can barter my way out. So, a lot of my targets, they call them, have come forward and complained about the way I treated them during our dating relationship. Kind of like yours, but of course that was your fault because you were the one with the problem. But I can gain a few more points from getting out of here if I tell you what so many want to know, which is the truth of my real childhood. Well,
Let's just start at the beginning. When I first went over to your home, I was looking through all your things, and I listened to you, hoping you'd give me some clues about your childhood, which of course you did. I listened. I heard you tell me the story about how your mother met your father at the same company and fell in love, and they've been together ever since. And so I got the feeling you were tuned into stability. So I told you a similar tale about my own parents. Remember? However, I'm sure it wasn't long before you realized that some of my behaviors just didn't fit with somebody who grew up in such circumstances. So, what is the good reason for all this? I hope you're prepared.
keep in mind, in regular circumstances, none of this information would be getting to you, if you catch my drift. But I'm trying to think of myself. I've got to get out of here. So,
I know that
the background you came from was nothing like that of mine, but I was too embarrassed to tell you the way that I grew up.
because
I couldn't stand the thought that I'd be rejected or ridiculed. You see, the truth is, my parents were both Satanists. My mother was a whore slash breeder who would actually give birth to babies that were never even registered in this world as an actual human being. And she would use them for satanic ritual sacrifices. And she used to force me to eat the fetus. And I couldn't tell you these things when you were talking about your family and asking about mine. My mother was a whore in the temple of sex. She had ritualistic sex with reptilian shapeshifters, with men, with women, with anything, and you think I was going to say that to you on a first date? I don't think so. So hopefully now maybe some of the behaviors I displayed will make a little more sense. But basically, you told me how you grew up with your family and your parents who took you to the movies and bought you the games you wanted to play. Well, I had none of that. I was basically like a rat in a cage among 20 others. I was simply there for a purpose, and nobody cared that I existed. Well, imagine if you had to grow up believing that about yourself. Maybe then you'd lose some of your arrogance. You think you're so special. You wonder why I targeted you, because you had it all, and I had nothing, and I wanted to pretend like I had everything, but I knew on some level that you did have everything, and I was going to punish you for it. So, there you have it. There's the motivation behind The things I did you that you call abuse, but I call things that you deserve, because
I was cheated in my life. I was raised in a cage. My mother didn't know me from the one next to me. There were cage after cage, and luckily I didn't get sacrificed because I escaped. Because I'm smarter than them. But regardless, I could have been. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
so, do you understand so far what you're dealing with? I'll take you further down that rabbit hole if you're ready, but only if you're ready.
Sorry, but I had to cut that last segment short because I don't want you seeing my shape shifting. Please, you're not even supposed to even know about that. But we'll go back to the childhood story. I didn't want you to frown upon me, so I simply went with the flow and I listened to what you said, and I tried to recreate my childhood to sound as close to yours as possible. After all, I couldn't dare talk to you about how the feces in the cage I was in stunk because of the person next to it, as I was in the dungeon of death and luckily got out. But
It's a great story, but there's no place for it with you, because to tell you how I escaped, I'd have to tell you where I was, and then, oh, it's all for good. So, I just try to wing it. I listen to your backstory and try to recreate mine as closely as possible, and try to mimic the same values you said you had. And of course, on many occasions you figured me out because I did things that didn't go along with the image I was trying to present, and I just acted like you were being critical. I just said that you think you know too much. I just said, let me be who I am, because I couldn't let out my secret. And if their wishes would have survived, I would have been one of the sacrificed fetuses given to the queen, which, how strange, today I give her my fetuses, and she eats them. So, you see, there is a synchronicity here working. There is a form of harmony. It's just we're not taught to detect it, or interpret it, or understand it.
also, I noticed how when I tried to recount some of my childhood stories, they clearly didn't fit with the image I told you I was part of, so I had to ad lib as I went. You were from like a churchy, prim and proper background that actually felt guilty if you kissed the girl that you were flirting with. Well, honey, in my world, that is like nothing. That's like if you're a billionaire and somebody offers you a penny. Uh-uh. At that age you were talking about, I was being passed around among pedophiles, old, geriatric, obese men with tiny little things they inserted inside my parts, and I just could not relate to what you were saying, so I simply tried to parrot it as closely as possible. And it just told me how fundamentally different I was than you, but because you still wanted to see me and sleep with me, I saw that as a tremendous victory. Of course, they're always short lived, but it's never my fault. It's their fault, and it was yours too, anyway. It's your fault we didn't work out.
You were just too judgmental. Even though I never told you of these things, but still, I could still feel it.
You see, I noticed a few things about you that were totally foreign to me in my life.
Oh, clearly indicates we had different backgrounds.
If you're somebody like me from my background, I don't see people as anything but useless cattle that need to be used for something. Yet, I had difficulty listening to you talk about other goyim, other people that you were like considering to be legitimate people, like they were worth something other than beef or whatever.
From what I see, you seem to think that with your fellow man, they can provide you some kind of information that'll help you develop as a person or something. Well, I've never experienced any of that, so I just fake it. So the reason why some of my lines didn't fit with my actions is because of that. Let it go. We can't all be as perfect as you.
So hopefully things make a little more sense now. When I had to listen to some of your stories, I didn't have a life like that. My life was more like hoping I wasn't the next baby to get sacrificed and eaten by people like Queen Elizabeth. I couldn't very well tell you the real story, could I? We wouldn't have made it this far, would we have? I don't think so. Oh, but I really missed you. I'd like to see you again. Ah!